Morning. Alright, thank you everybody. I'd like to welcome Soma, who's going to be running this next session. It is a very participatory session, so listen and enjoy. Soma is a rock star in the Agile world. She's spent a lot of time on various projects. She's now independently consulting into Westpac. Alright, Soma, take it away. Thank you very much, Soma.
Okay. So, I'm a little nervous, to be very honest, because this is my first time presenting in a workshop. So, what I would like from you guys, support, and also a request, can we all have fun together, please? Because that's what is really the priority for me. So, the first thing, okay, let me just go there. So what we are doing here today, why we all are here. So what's the expectation from this session? First, thank you everyone for coming. Before I even start, let me thank a few people who really have helped me come here and be prepared for this. So one is my mentor who's running away here and there, Alex slowly. Who have been always very supportive, especially when he calls me stupid Soma, that really helps. So the next thing is my demo partner over there, Andrew Drummond. He helped me with everything since the beginning. It really means a lot. Sally Slowly over there, and every one of you, thank you so much for the support. So, okay, just be emotionally smart, even we start that. So can I request all of you here form a circle? Let's do something fun before we get into those emotional intelligence things. So yes, all of us together form a circle. Yeah, it's a tight circle. Yeah, it's fun, right?
Come on, guys.
Nice. Join the circle, please. Everyone in? Yep. Cool. So have you done this thing before? Tribe. Do you know what that is? Tribe?
No.
Tribe?
No.
Tell us all about it, so.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you for asking questions. Please do ask a lot of questions. That helps me remember the things that I'm going to speak about. So, okay, what we are going to do is know a little bit about each other. So the tribe, what we do basically, the center is kind of the thing that we like the most. For example, if I say I belong to a tribe who loves dogs, and I go there in the center, and the people who from this circle loves dog, based on their thank you, Tim. So based on their intensity of liking, they will count. Okay, so we all say something and see that who likes what or which tribe they belong to.
That's the center.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did that. Sorry. Okay, cool. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Awesome.
I belong to a tribe who's really into World of Warcraft Classic, which launched yesterday.
Okay. That's really unique. Awesome. Great stuff.
Anyone else, mate?
Who wants to go next?
Who does? Step in.
Yeah.
I'm Lee, belong to a tribe, and we all love scuba diving.
Wow. Wow. Who wants to go next?
I can go. So I belong to a tribe. So sorry, I'm Priscilla, and I belong to a tribe who loves visiting a new place at least per year.
Wow.
Yes. Travelers.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that.
Yeah. We all should have money in the account as well. On that. So you? Yeah.
I belong to a tribe who likes horse riding.
Wow. Okay. Who wants to go next? Come on, guys.
I
I belong to the tribe of knowing more about the adults.
Adults? Of course!
Yay!
Yeah, with you.
So, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Yay!
I'm Sanya and I love cheese and wine.
Who wants to go next? Yay!
I'm Josie and I prefer beer than wine.
I like
I would say
I'll carry on the theme then. I'm Rob and I prefer gin over all of the alcoholic. Perfect.
We just don't have all the drunks in the room.
I'm Beck and my coffee order is complex.
Coffee order is complex.
How complex?
Wow, how complex
So,
is it?
so how quickly can you say a coffee order?
That way.
2 words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not complex.
That's really
Three
good.
syllables.
So what is it?
Yeah, no, it's an oat latte with a sweetener, but extra hot.
Wow, that's cool. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
My name's Joe, and I prefer Italian food. Thank y'all.
Who's next?
Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm here to learn something new today.
Oh, yay! Who's next?
I'm Sean and I like to learn music.
Wow. Like to learn and have this skill set to learn is different, right?
Yeah.
Anyone else from our tribe?
Okay, I'll put myself out there.
Yeah.
My name's Kevin and I like watching The Bachelor.
I'll back you on that one too, mate.
Awesome. So anyone else? Anyone else wants to form another tribe? So all the
I'll do
people.
one.
Yes, please.
My name's Campbell. I'm from the tribe that wants Roger Federer to win the US Open.
Any other tribes? Am I here? No? So just FYI, all the people who like wine or any alcohol, let's meet outside the conference after the conference. I'll take your number personally. Let's all meet up. Let's do that. Thank you everyone for this. I would request you to get back to your table. Open the door, please.
No, I'm not like it.
Wait, so that I can do it.
I like it.
That was super dry.
I'll put myself.
I will expose myself for anything that you watch. Oh, Dave, I know you're a closet watcher. Honestly, I don't have time to watch TV. I don't watch anything.
So, I'm not very good at that, so I would need your support at all points. So please do support me. Ask a lot of questions. That helps me calm down. And just one thing, let's explore together. Let's learn together, because I'm not an expert on emotional intelligence, but I'm sure maybe we can learn something from each other today. So the main priority today is to learn a bit more about emotional intelligence, its key elements, how can we improve that, and why is that even important? And also, the top priority is to have fun together. So it's like 90 minutes of fun together plus this boring stuff, you know. So, so yeah, that's what we are going to do. What is emotional intelligence? Anyone?
Being able to read body language. Well.
Yes. Yes.
Empathy and social orientation, empathy, being able to navigate that.
Being aware of emotions in yourself and in others.
Yeah, and being able to alter the emotions of yourself.
Yes.
A 200-odd page book by Dan Goldman.
Yes.
We are not going there. Yes. Anyone else?
Self-awareness.
Yes. Everything is actually correct. You guys are already an expert. What are you doing here? Still don't go, please. So, okay, what is emotional intelligence? It is actually the ability to understand your own emotions and feelings, and also how those emotions can affect the people around you. So it's really important. We all know. Like, I guess many of you have attended Alex's session before mine. So he spoke about nonverbal cues. So that is also part of emotional intelligence. We understand what people want to communicate and how they communicate, what they feel. And that's so important when you are in a leadership position, because you are dealing with people, you are surrounded by people. So that's really important, how you communicate with them, how you perceive their emotion, how you express yourself. So that's the reason it is important. And also in studies, it is said that a person with high IQ can get a job, but to succeed in that job, you really need a higher EQ, which is really uncommon nowadays. Because we all want to shut down our, the emotional side. We don't want to feel anything. We just go there, do our job, come back. But have you ever kind of tried and explored that what would happen if you actually explore the emotional part of things? Like you go into a team and then you want the team to perform well. How can you do that? If you don't feel their emotions, if you cannot understand what they mean, how they communicate, why they do that, if you don't know the background story, do you even know why? So how can we do that? So what we talk about today is the 4 key elements of emotional intelligence, and I have 3 activities which will support and explain those 4 key elements in a better way. Also have fun in between, that's the main goal. So let's start with the first one. That's just a random picture. No idea behind it, but it does make us feel unsafe, right? Like, look at that picture. That child is like jumping with just an umbrella. How unsafe is that? So it's okay. Don't be so much of a danger out there. So the first one, we talk about relationship management. We talk about one of the key elements of emotional intelligence is relationship management. So what is that? Why do we need relationship management when we go into a team? So imagine you are the new person on the team, and you go there, so you feel that it's a task force. Have you ever come across those things? Do you know the difference between a team and a task force? Anyone? No?
Sure.
Yes.
A task force has been put together to take care of a specific problem.
And what's a team?
A team works on the various work that's coming into it. So the team is put together in a collaborative manner, where a task force, you're taking expertise from other things to tackle one problem.
So basically, when you have a task force, everyone works solo. It is not integrated. They don't form a vision like which they want to achieve or a goal they want to achieve. So to make a task force, a team, you need to do, the first step is like to make connections, to get them together. So that is one of the key elements of emotional intelligence. That whenever you have a task force and you want them to behave like a team, all you do is take those small steps and integrate them together, get them together. So there are so many ways to do that. Observation. Observe what drives them, what motivates them, work on those. So the first activity that we are going to do is, who do you admire the most? And the instructions are on the screen if you look through. So you have stickies and Sharpies kept in front of you. Please pick them up. Can everyone read that? Yeah, who do you admire? A real person, someone you love, a fictional character? So write it down on the sticky. So let's take a few minutes to write that down and share with the person sitting beside you. Is that okay? Cool.
I haven't written one down yet.
That's right, you just tell me about it if you like.
Who I admire? I'm a really bad person with names. Here we go, I guess. So you know the actor? Yeah, the Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, so I guess he's taken his career from something really simple, and he's been able to really evolve himself to be like, big action hero now.
It's interesting because everybody was there once.
Yes.
At the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
We've all been there once.
Yes,
everyone has. I
wouldn't think he'd.
wouldn't think totally is the case because he's
Yeah. So he's an action actor,
What did he start doing?
As good as. Well, he's originally a wrestler, right? Yeah. WWF or something like that. But now he's turned into himself, into a businessman, selling himself.
That's very deep.
So he doesn't just sell himself, but now he's surrounded himself with he's been able to make himself just like yeah, so you can play
Nah, he's just the Iron Man.
It can be kids movies, voiceover or you can be actually
Okay. I mean, the trainer that trained me in coaching agile team. Very emotionally intelligent person. No, I think yours is a good one.
Have you sort of researched them or read any books I have seen him speak. He speaks very It's funny, as you know, we have different people. guess inspiration is very strong. Someone who
sounds like fortitude. You know, like she just kept going. It doesn't matter what. Doesn't mind.
I think I actually agree with that. I find it hard to put it somebody who gave me feedback took it to the next level. Those people, they seem to have themselves together.
Someone who was my trainer and I did several courses with her, which is quite so I thought she was very motivational like she holds the space very well, friends from the heart, can feel the room, things like that.
So it's people just go around like get to the next level.
That's a good thing. The audio cue didn't work. That means you guys were so engaged. You know, trying to find out who do we admire the most and why, which is really good. So we did talk about that with the person sitting next to us, right? So now, can we do this table-wise? Can we discuss this? What can we learn from this? What do you think? According to you, why did we do this? And what did we learn from this? So every table is one group. So like one table, one group. So how about we discuss this? Take some time. Yes. So you can begin. And yeah, I would love to hear the buzzing noise. That's really good. So.
Buzz. Yeah, as a table.
So I think we get inspiration and admiration from completely different sectors in life. Like the very first one that came to my mind, we are talking about emotional intelligence, was my grandma. She wasn't emotionally intelligent at all, but she was strong. Like emotionally strong as a person. She got tested in many ways in her life. She never got person. And then we had completely different characters.
We had completely different things. So, you had a famous person and I had my kids.
Yeah. But I agreed with him in the end. I went, yeah. My kids are pretty inspiring too. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's the point of the exercise is that we can find a connection, even though we both had different people. But at the end of the day, we both talked about visionaries. We both talked about like how our kids are inspiring and things like that. So we found common ground through, even though we came from different places, we found common ground.
Inspiration comes from different places.
Yeah, that's
We
exactly like us.
very similar to us. We started with the famous person, then we started thinking about actually, it was actually people that we worked with through our careers that helped us or influenced us to get to the next level, and that's we found some common ground there.
Oh, that's sweet. Sorry, came in at the last bit. So I feel I didn't get to do the exercise, but I feel like maybe the exercise kind of shows that everybody is a human and that we all strive for some sort of goal. And so not only does it show the commonalities, but it shows that everybody has somewhere that they want to go to and somewhere that they're inspired to go to, and that it's not like that person probably also has somebody that they're inspired by also.
The other thing I think was it's nice to just talk to someone different. It's just nice to you start even in that just snippet of a moment, and start to get to know someone else and what motivates them and all the rest of it. So it's quite nice.
It was so funny in the workshop I went to prior to this, we were challenged to build a framework. So instead of using Scrum or whatever, you build a different framework. And they primed us with a worksheet, and half of the worksheet was about working as a team and how being emotionally safe and all those sorts of things. But when we built the framework, it had nothing to do with that. They left all of that out. I kept saying, what about the people? What about the people? And they kept throwing those cards to the side. But that's the thing of it, right? Like if even no matter what, and I've been through this a million times, even at Westpac, we try to come together as coaches and build a coaching team, but we throw all the rules about how to connect with each other out the door, and we just think, oh, we're all coaches, we'll do this just fine.
All coaches are individualistic control freaks.
So it's so funny how we always kind of leave that bit out.
Yeah, I've always argued that the collective noun for a group of coaches
I don't know.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that is good. But it is funny. It is funny that, oftentimes we just jump into the activity. I think it feels safer to jump into the activity where really creating the safety is more productive.
It was interesting to see that Kevin has a fictional character as someone to admire.
And then Richard had someone who's a real person.
We can connect emotionally with just about anything. Yeah.
So this is very interesting. We have audio cue and also visual. So, okay, which table is going to share first and what did we learn from this?
Sure.
Sure. Yes. We all are waiting, Anthony. Please, enlighten us.
Yeah, cool. We discussed a few things, a lot about this was a very, the activity itself is a very safe way to kind of share and get to know each other a little bit more, especially the way it's framed. Who do you admire and why, as opposed to, we talked about it as opposed to perhaps the question being like, what do you aspire to? What's the characteristics that doesn't feel so safe? That people could potentially be very defensive around that. So this was a safe way. A little bit of reflection around how we almost told stories through it that opened us up to be vulnerable, which also built more of that kind of silver threads between each other's as relationship building. What else did I miss?
Your first point about how it gave you an insight into what they admire themselves. Yeah.
In the same way.
Thank you, guys. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Alex.
I think, the admire thing is really just code for what do you value, right? I think one of the interesting conversations that really struck me here, Martin brought it up, you might have that thing you value, or none of that thing you value, but you value it nonetheless. So like you could say, I value that person for whatever attribute they have. You might not have much of it. Maybe that's why you value it, I don't know.
Yes.
But it's getting down to like what you think is important, I guess is the reason. That's what I thought. Anything else here?
I just like seeing people talk about what it was that they value and seeing how people light up when they talk about it.
That's good. Thank you. Who wants to go next?
Okay. We had a range of a lot of different admirers, ranging from real people to fictional characters as well. So, highlights that people can find inspiration from really anyone or anything really. And I think to the point of around what do we value as well, I think there's some underlying themes around connections with. I think there's deeper connections with real people, like when we admire our grandma or our mother, we find that person and we really center and value around that as well. So I found that quite interesting.
So anything else from the table?
That was a good summary.
Plus a lot of what those guys said as well.
Yeah, and we're doing an add-on to what everybody else has said.
Well done, guys.
I think we had exactly the same point in that half of us went for people that were the closest people in our lives, and the other half went for people we never met and some of whom are dead. So but the commonality is admiration, people that reflect our views, our beliefs, or people that articulate the views we have better than we do. And so it's that kind of looking upwards, regardless of whether it's your mother or an intellect or a businessman, something like that.
That's correct. Thank you, guys. So this activity actually tells us a little bit more about each other. So here we are actually forming a connection. We started forming connection from the tribe exercise. We did a little bit know better than like the last time. Like when we all came to this room, we didn't know each other. I'm assuming that's the case because I don't know half of the room. Half, yes. So I got to know some people like beer more than wine. Yeah, some people will like that. Yeah, some people like wine and cheese. Some people like traveling new places. So all those things give me more insights, more data about all of you. So the next time I go and meet you, I'm gonna remember some of it, and then I'm gonna, utilize that so that we can have a connection. Same happened here. Every table we discussed what do they value the most. It's not who do value the most. That is not the important part. The important part is what is important to them, what matters to them. So we will learn a little bit more about people, like what drives them, what motivates them, and how can we make it, how can we make those connections with them. So that is important. And why this is important again, guys? Because you are a team, right? You always should have connection with each other. So relationship management is one of the key elements of emotional intelligence.
Just to say, following on what you said, that the tribe game, for me, that sort of showed that we've got things in common, and also demonstrated the diversity of your group as well, which is something that's also should be celebrated. So that
Yes.
was
We are always including people from various backgrounds, various culture. So that's where also emotional intelligence comes into picture, that how can we be respectful? Because people from different culture, it's really, sometimes like when I go to office, I'm a very friendly person. Now that can happen because I'm from India. So in India, for Indians, so in India we really don't know much about personal space. I mean, basically, if you look at me, I'm like a Labrador. I really don't understand personal space that much. So my very good friend Andrew will tell all about it. If you have some time, he will tell you that, okay, I kind of like intrude people's life and then I become a part of it, like a Labrador does. So, but that's how I was raised. That's because of the culture of the, the communities in India. We have a lot of population, so we really don't understand what is personal space. Like here, this must be, oh my God, it's awesome. But it's not same in Australia. People do respect their personal space, right? They are like, okay, why are you being so friendly? Yeah, I got that feedback. I'm like, we have never seen this friendly person. So I'm an agile coach in some other org now. So the first thing I got from my team is like, Soma, you're the most friendliest person we have seen in years. I'm like, wow, I would take that as a compliment. Because I would still like to be human, with all my emotions. So it is always like everyone is so unique. What we do when we have emotional intelligence is that we respect that diversity. We always understand that we are different than each other. How can we coexist peacefully and respectfully and also learn from each other? We don't want to discriminate anyone. We don't want to barge into anyone's space, but it's all about living together and celebrating diversity. So that is the reason it is so important to have relationship management element into emotional intelligence. So let's move to the next section. Yes, exactly, there. So what I'm gonna do is, before we even discuss anything about the other elements, sorry, not prepared enough, give me some time. Yes, I would love that. Here, can you please distribute it in tables?
Just put it in the middle?
Yes, just put that into the middle.
Just put it in the middle.
No, there's no
He knows me.
That's interesting. So before we move to the next section, we talk about anything else. How about we do this? There's no instruction up there because I just thought about it this morning. This is just me, sorry guys. I'm never enough prepared. So what we do, we select a card from the table, we select a partner. It can be anyone in the room. And if you want to grab someone from outside the room, you're allowed to do that. So let's take 1 minute to do that. Select the card, select the partner.
And then do, what are we meant to do?
Yeah, I think. I could go for workout and diet, but I go for both. Then we would have a soft talk conversation.
Thank you. Guys, if I wasn't clear enough, that is one of my problems. Let me make it very clear. One card is for 2 people. Because you are doing it with a partner. Remember, I said select a card and a partner.
And doing what?
I can.
Yeah?
No, I can. It depends on the moment.
What are we doing about?
That's the next instruction. Everyone done? Cool. So what we do, everyone got 1 card, and with 1 card, 2 people comes free. Are we done with that? Yes. Cool, everyone? Awesome. So the next thing we do, so choose a side. You can see there are conflicting sides over there, like whiskey versus beer. That's a very interesting one. Summer versus winter. iPhone versus Android. So what we do, pick a side. Discuss as
I like it. It's kind of my face.
I love it. As soon as I keep my hand down, you guys start talking. That is fantastic. But give me a few seconds to complete my sentence. Pick a side, and how about you have a debate for like 2 minutes? Which side is better? So let's do that. It's a debate, guys.
Right, the ball.
Okay, so, workout.
We got to replace some of the ones that replace that.
Otherwise,
Working out
I'm there, but training when something doesn't work.
Wow. Continuous improvement. So, how was it?
We didn't have any debate, we agreed on the same thing. So it was like the conversation lasted 90 seconds.
Oh my god, that's a rare
No
case.
debate.
So, but here, I think Android versus Apple, they're really Android versus iPhone, so how was it?
It was good, healthy debate.
Healthy debate?
Yeah.
You didn't see that
We're taking
Android
another round
sucks?
outside afterwards.
So, pistols at dawn.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's really cool. So, any more valuable insights from the debate that we get to know?
So we had a funny one here. So we got workout and diet. And since I remember myself existing, I've been doing both.
Whoa.
So I would go for both, and she does none
of them. All my workmates know that if there was a meeting in level 18 and I'm 16, I'll take the lift.
So can I add to that? I found the same thing, that the items on the cards, there is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I pretty much like all of them, like vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream, I want both. Mountain and beach, why not both? Left hand riding or right side riding, doesn't matter, whichever.
Every team is looking for a leader like you. No conflict. So maybe all the recruiters in here want to meet after the session.
It's amazing how much common ground you can get out of an opposite. Because even like short hair, long hair.
Oh my god, did you get that?
That may have been written for us.
Yeah, I had you guys in mind. Actually.
Yeah.
So we talked about the differentiation between like how he has long hair, which helps make him as more memorable, and I have shorter hair for a female, so that's a thing that makes me stand out. So actually, those things both work in the same kind of way.
Initially, she said she was not prepared. I don't know how that card comes in.
I picked that one. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so what we are going to do now is let me demo with Andrew, how we should face this kind of challenging situations in workplace. So Andrew is a summer person. I like winter. So let's have that between us. So Andrew, yeah, you.
So I love summer because I like to do outdoor activities. So going to the beach, going for a hike, and it's the best thing about summer.
I like winter because I'm a lazy person, and that means lots of indoor activities.
Yeah, I really love summer because at that time of the year, especially in Australia, it's Christmas and it's New Year, so you've got the multiple weeks off over Christmas, relaxing time of year, so it's good time.
I just like winter because you can wear comfortable clothes. You don't have to. Most of the time, I don't even iron my clothes. Like it's because inside a jumper, so no one sees that.
And then I love summer because the day's filled with sunshine and brightness, and everyone's always happy when the sun shines. Unlike today a little bit, so.
It's winter. Yes.
Exactly.
So I like winter because of the same reason. No strong sun, no tanning, so no sunscreen. So, but did you notice anything different than how we did?
You guys are just making statements. But I don't know if you're listening to each other.
We do that very efficiently. Trust me on that. But this is what I'm saying. We are just focusing on what we like about a thing. We are not here to challenge someone else's view because that might be important for them. We don't know, right? We have no idea why they value that thing or that opinion. So We are not here to challenge that. We are here just to state our point, what we like about something. So often we come across this kind of situation where we are challenged with opposite views and opinions. So this comes to our next two key elements of emotional intelligence. That is about self-awareness and self-management. So how important do you think is self-awareness?
Very.
Very? And why is that?
Because it impacts your behavior based on your thinking that might impact the people around you.
Yes, exactly. That's the key element, because we always try to make ourselves the best first and then, roll it out. So,
I think it's what you can only change yourself, right? You can only change yourself, so you can choose, by being aware, you can choose how you respond in a given situation, and invite others to, through role modeling, to...
Yes, you influence others by modeling your behavior, your emotions. So that's the reason self-awareness and self-management is really important. They are the key elements of emotional intelligence. So whenever we come across these challenging situations in workplace, which might happen like on a daily basis, at least for me, I'm into a new job. It's like I come across these opinions which is like so different. Like for example, I got to hear, if you're doing Jira, you're agile. That's what I got. Like, so I go there as an agile coach, and they are like, oh, we are really agile because we are doing Jira. I'm like, excellent. I don't have a job from tomorrow because you know Jira very well. So how do we keep ourselves calm and composed in this situation? Because that's the key for handling any situation. So self-regulation is the key. And you have to know how you feel about things, how your emotions work. Because when you can channel that, when you can navigate that properly, you can handle situations in a better way. So why this is important? Because we don't want unnecessary conflicts, do we? Like if someone comes and tell me, hot desking is agile, and I'm like, bullshit. Does that happen? So this is what I hear, in places, that what is agile? If you're hot desking, you're agile. So what I do, I like count 1 to 10, very calmly. In my mind, I'm like going all over the places, but when I say things, I'm like, thank you. But there's other part to it, being agile. How about we focus on that? You guys have nailed this. Hot desking, Jira, awesome. But how about we focus the other part as well? So this is what I'm saying, like this kind of self-awareness and self-regulation is really important when you are in a team setup, when you are in a leadership position. So that was our second activity. Okay, let's go to the third. Oh, you never got to put that. Oh.
That's the instruction.
Fine, no, keep going.
Yeah, keep going. But we can do that. Do you think there will be any value to do the second activity again in the different way, where you just put your point and don't negate each other?
I don't think we want to do that.
Huh?
Oh, we didn't really negate each other. We had a very respectful discussion.
Oh my gosh. You guys are legend. Like seriously. So everyone, so let's move to the next then?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. So that's the okay. The last key element of emotional intelligence. Any guesses what that is? Oh, I think everyone knows what that is.
Listening?
And what's the key element? Like listening is a part of it, but what is the key element of emotional intelligence? The last,
Making connection?
we covered that in the relationship management that was there. And huh? So how can you get to all of those?
Empathy.
Communication.
Yes.
Vulnerability. Vulnerability.
Yes. So how can you get to all of that?
Does it relate to that slide though?
Oh, that's
yeah.
That's a funny slide.
That's a trick.
It's the same thing.
Is it Jira?
That man.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Done.
Hot taste.
That's it. If you know Jira, you're emotionally intelligent already.
Is it safety?
Is it adaptability?
So all these things comes under social awareness, isn't it? So the last key element and the most important one is like the social awareness. So we know now what did we learn till now? How to make relationships, why that is important. How to be socially like self-aware and how to manage our own self, our emotions, our feelings. So that is done. The self part is done. And what we can do to build connection, that is done. So the last part is about social awareness. How aware are we of our surroundings? What's happening? What are the emotions that are flowing through us, like around us? Do we care? Do we know? Do we observe? Do we?
We should, if we don't.
What stops us?
Us.
What? I didn't get it.
Us.
Us. Why?
Into us.
Yes. Why do we ignore the social awareness factor?
Probably have to master the self-awareness.
I think fear too.
Yeah.
Fear driven.
That's what I was gonna say, fear. And
Fear.
yeah, a lot of people don't. I feel that I'm very aware of my surroundings, and I try to be. But I come across people that I understand that they are as well, but they're afraid to express it. They hold back because they don't trust the people around them to be able to do that.
I think that's maybe the environment sometimes as well.
Sure.
Whether it's safe to fail.
But don't you think it's kind of like our responsibility to influence that environment, the surroundings? Because if we know ourselves in a better way, if we are self-aware, and if we know how to manage our own expressions and emotions and feelings, can't we influence that around us? And what does it take to kind of help the people around us? One thing? What do you think is important when we are dealing with emotions around us? What is that one thing that takes for us to understand them, respond to them?
Empathy.
Bingo, you nailed it. Yes, empathy, which we all forget. So what is empathy?
It's the ability to place yourself in someone else's shoes.
Correct. So do we often do that in our day-to-day life?
Well, some people think that being sympathetic is being empathetic, and it's not. That's the main thing. Being able to take that and understand the difference between the two, right?
I do think that people think empathy is about understanding and all that, where really it's, for me, it's more around radical candor. So you have to care about people enough to be honest and open, and honestly, I see in a Agile, we claim that a lot, but I see a lot of people being shunned or being ignored because maybe they don't agree. And so instead of dealing with the problem and having true empathy, they kind of go, oh, I don't want to deal with that, that's too hard, and kind of back away from it. Where you got to really care and invest and want to invest in people to have that radical candor.
Yeah. That's what we always say, right? We all agilists, like we really say that we care about people, but do we really care about people? Because when it comes to emotion, we kind of like shut ourselves down, like, oh no, that's too much. That's too much personal. What is personal? What is the definition that we put, in workplace? You spend most of your lifetime in workplace. How can you not care about those people around you? How can you not invest some time to understand what they are going through? You will always be in conflicting situation. For example, the last thing, totally different opinion. But do we even care that what the person is thinking and why they are thinking that way? it can be anything, right? It can be anything personal or their cultural background or anything, XYZ.
And I think if you were to put on the cards something like or political, religious, those sorts of things, you probably would have had heated debates.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I think Alex and Andrew, they both asked me not to do that. I wanted to.
No, I'm not saying you should have, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, that's just me. That's just me. I really wanted to, and they both were like, don't do that so much. That's too much. But yeah, that's just what we ignore all the time. We don't put in, we don't observe things, or even if we do, we kind of ignore them. So, the next, yes, social awareness. So what we are going to do here, so we all come across defensive reactions in workplace, don't we? So how many defensive reactions can you name?
Rationalization.
And? Yes.
Denial, blame, silence.
Yes. So what we are going to do is we are going to talk about 5 of them. Denial, displacement, rationalization, blame, projection. So the definition is up there. Is it visible from the last table? Or shall I read it out? Half of it? Half of it? You know everything, Anthony. I'm asking the rest of the people.
Instructions.
I have to do stand up.
So blame is in the bottom, so we all know what is blame because we are really good at doing that. I mean, I blame Alex most of the time. That's why. Yeah.
He's your mentor.
That's what I'm saying. If I mess up, it's Alex's fault, always.
Isn't that why you get married though? That's the point of the sometimes you're total strangers out there.
Yeah. I'm sure Sally does the same.
So which card? Is there a card?
And I love the displacement. That's the one. Yes. Have you watched any murder mysteries? So if there is a butler in there, the butler did it always, without even thinking that who it can be, without even putting in any thought. So that's basically displacement, right? You are blaming, you are redirecting an emotion onto a powerless substitute. So we all come across these situations on a day-to-day life. We know what they are. So what we are going to do is do an activity and find out how being aware will help us to respond to them in a better way. So we will again, so the instructions are on the right. I hope you can read it from the last table. So self-organize in a team of 2, pick a card, which will come out now. I will pass it on.
Few cards. These are the old ones.
So the statements, okay. So can you guys share the statements? So for example,
One between
reactions. Yes. Reaction. The statements will be between more.
They get all of it, okay?
Oh, you shared that for you. Statements.
Yeah, the statement.
I got it. My friend, you have a teammate who's on a performance improvement plan, and the teammate says, "You should have given me this feedback months ago."
Okay.
So in peers, I think we peer up on the reply.
You could show your cards to anyone.
Oh, sorry.
What is the background here?
So you have
given a feedback months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you go into peers though?
Yeah, I think it's one between 2.
Is it? We're not supposed to show our cards, she said.
Is it one between the reactions or what?
I don't know.
Take a slow
Oh, you have to guess which one I'm doing when I give my statement. So we all have the same one, and then when I tell you what I say, you have to pick which one I'm. We can swap around cards. I think. Yeah. Okay. So you haven't told me. I'm like, are you supposed to plan?
Because he's the manager.
You told me.
But I think he's better.
I told you you should have.
Given me this.
I tried to, but you wouldn't listen.
So you read it on the spot. We're gonna choose.
Okay, what about it?
I said you should have given me this figure.
Displacement. It has to be a powerless substitute person. Because could be also your manager. I
Didn't feel your When am I going to be ready? When is it ready?
Why do you think so?
You already let me hear, so you're in the recording. But it's still a
Whereas this one is that you would look at.
You're justifying the reason.
I can offer you each objection, right? You're trying to put the guilt on the and give me a justification.
When I'm living there, I'm talking to you. That means I'm
Expect me to give you feedback. You're not ready.
Next to like this. Can we swap one?
You can be like attacking me now.
You should have given me this feedback months ago.
So this one, whenever I give you feedback, you never listen. You're blaming. That's blaming. Yeah, that's not the place
Oh, but blame is blame.
This could also be
Yeah.
the same as projection. Could be a projection, it could be what is this next time? Yes.
It's actually I was waiting for this.
When you're blaming others, you're blaming. Yeah, we go to the definitions.
Should have given me
I emailed them
This is that's right. Yeah, it's a bit of rationalization. I'm Russian. No, it's not.
Yeah, I couldn't.
There you go. Manager's responsible.
Yeah, we had that.
I don't know that
Swap one, is there any more? This one? Yeah. No, I've done that one, but you can have that.
Well, that's the same as that one. You kind of did deny line.
Oh, that's definitely displacement. I think we've got one more left to do. I think, have we done that one? Yeah, we've done that one. I think that one's the only one. Is that... Oh, that's the one you had before.
Come on, they don't share.
You should have given me.
We've done this one. We've done that one. Whenever I give you feedback, you never listen.
Projection. You're not ready, young grasshopper. You'll be ready when you are ready. There's a bit of rationalization, a bit of blind, a little bit of projection. Number 6. I wanted it, but you weren't ready. You could argue it's projection, you're projecting one of them, yeah. The fact that they're not ready, yeah, I think in this context is I blame you.
I can't tell the
I blame
difference in
somebody
half me.
who's not.
You're either blame or rationalization.
That's all. Mostly it's the way you say. I try, but you won't listen to me. Whenever you feedback, you never listen.
CFO.
So I try, but you do listen pretty much. I'm blaming you because you don't listen to me. But whenever I give you feedback, you never listen. It's more like projection. It's like how I feel about it. You don't listen to me. It doesn't matter what I say. And this is another one. I didn't even try. Exactly. So it's the way, like it is the same thing, but the way you say it shows. Like it's different.
It's a different approach of
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's funny, this is defensive.
It's the exact same thing.
Sorry, what you said?
But it's saying the same thing, the message is the same. But the way you're saying it, it's perceived in a different way.
Either way, this is not confused conversation. Usually they don't listen. Usually they don't listen.
Awesome.
They just recognize. Can't. If you're having a performance conversation, they should be out.
From when my kids were little, I can probably still recite most of the Cat in the Hat from memory.
Right. If they're being defensive.
Green eggs and ham. I think I can still ask. Sam I am, Sam I am. I like that Sam I am.
Empathetic. Why are they? If we're not emotionally intelligent,
oh yeah.
maybe there's probably someone else in that room that needs to do some emotional intelligence training.
Well, I did the lightning talk last year. That was, I don't like a lightning talk.
Now you're hearing that these are behaviors, right? Being defensive, right? But being emotionally intelligent, how would you respond to that? If someone's saying this to you, if someone's saying that to me, I'm guessing that I'm not emotionally intelligent.
I was about to for a couple of years now. Very well, Tenko. Look, both of them are a bit weird. With they've got Bolters, they do quite well and they've got a lot of consultants in, so suddenly all the stuff, the internal team have been doing, got thrown out and everything's Spotify. Yeah, it has to be Spotify.
You did properly, why not?
But it's Spotify with PI planning. So yeah, please tell me. So Telstra. Similar for all these consultants all over the place. Plus it's 55,000 people. Unfortunately, when I started the course, there were about 7 or 8. And slowly they've come together and now there are 2. Yeah, and fortunately the one I'm in is it's got outdated. It's going to get rolled into the main one. Probably early 60s. So at least they've got that under control. But it's still sort of you do your Spotify, you try to build your chapters, but then you put PI planning on top of it because that gives you like something nice and familiar. So it's kind of top-down Spotify. Who are you? Curious. We started with Memory 4 years ago. Oh, that's right. You did we try that's a bad they are the best. I don't want to Bob had that government job for a while. Yeah, and then he's not out, he's still active. I think he was trying to get out.
Yeah. Like, and what we try is to diminish the number of rotations, but now and then we have to be smarter and just recognize that someone will leave. There's nothing we can do. Even though there's always the positive side of it, sometimes you just can't reach out. There is a book that I really like, it's called I don't know the name of it, actually I'm going to check.
So how about we discuss this on our table? Where have you observed similar emotions and behaviors? Can we take 3 minutes? Because I think it's gonna end soon. That's the reason Garrett is back at the room. Yes, he's time boxing all of us. So 3 minutes, how about we take 3 minutes to discuss this in our table? Where have we observed?
I've seen it.
Yes,
Yeah, my sister is also there. I think you can sum it up in one word: everywhere. Everywhere, everyone. Yeah. My kids. She started it. Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Not my fault.
I feel like even my husband. I feel like it's even you adapt to it differently. Like when you're at work, maybe you're more aware of it. You're more like open to investing it. As we're like at home, personally, like I'm more interested in like hearing the whole and trying to use it more than at home with my daughter. Her being young, like I don't feel like I should probably take it into account more with my daughter. And I'm not like trying to say, okay, where is she feeling? Where is this coming from? I'm like, no, go to your room. Because maybe it would probably be beneficial to probably say,
my kids are older now. They're nearly, one of them is actually a legal adult, which is kind of scary. So you can start. I wasn't here. They're not you anymore, so you can sort of start to think about this stuff.
At work, I can be mindful about this stuff, but at home, it's all bets off.
Yeah.
It's basically, why can't you just close the cupboard door? Every time. I've told you so many times, you don't listen to me.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Why do we do that though, right?
We're already in our work lives, but then we go home and we put it
out the window, yeah. And I find myself being more aware of it, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I should apply it. And then I apply it, and it's so much harder to apply it sometimes in your personal house than it is even like with strangers, right? It's easier. I find it easier.
It's just not a natural tendency at home. It's not natural and it's tiring, and at home you've got all that familiarity thing, right? Like you you shouldn't. You end up being a dick.
Well, I actually applied that on my first daughter. I was very into gentle parenting. Oh, why are you feeling this way? Second daughter comes. Oh my God, shut up! Like, the patience is out the door.
Yeah, I did this training at work. It was parenting expert. They said, just a very simple: stop, empathise, and educate. The children like get down their level. Stop, but she also said, you don't put pressure on yourself to feel like you need to do it all the time, because you can't. Like, you can't be the perfect parent. You're not going to be able to. If you start to just embed those habits and just recognise when you're doing it. Like, I've said sorry more times to my kids now. Like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that way. Let's have a chat about it. And like, and the connection is so amazing, right?
I think also to be able to handle the situations, there's a lot of personal awareness and development involved.
everyone starving? That's the reason everyone was just quiet. The first time they heard the bell. This is the first time in the whole workshop, which is amazing. So who is going to tell us where they have observed similar behaviors?
We come up with everywhere.
Yeah.
I hope not here today.
As well.
Oh my God.
That's denial. So
tell us more.
Well, said at work, we then got to talking about where you see at home, dealing with kids, and the fact that a lot of us are more aware of this happening at work because we're sort of conscious of it, and then you go home and you just behave like a complete idiot. You don't think about it, and you just go to your room.
Exactly. You do that, right? So, why social awareness is so important? So what would you do if the next time you are in a similar situation where you see that someone is getting defensive, someone is yelling at you? I can give you an example. So it happened that the product owner asked a person on the team to work for the third consecutive weekend. And then what he got in return of that? No. I have some other work this weekend. I cannot do that. So he was getting defensive. He was agitated. He was really angry. So what do you think the product owner should do in that kind of situation?
Resign.
What the hell? Asking me to work.
Three sets consecutive.
And the Scrum Master can resign at this
I
know. I used to have a rule that if the product owner asked the team to come in on the weekend, they had to be with them making coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And lunch.
What is the least thing that we can do? We all know that sometimes it happens that, things come up. We all have fraud incidents in offices. We have our priorities which kind of like creep up, which takes over our personal life, and we all have to put in extra work, extra effort. So we expect our team to do that. What is the least thing that we can give them in return? Empathy, right? Try to understand the background, like the backstory. Every defensive reaction will have a background story ready for it, for you to understand, analyze, and how you can respond to that. So maybe the product owner can be a little empathetic, like maybe the product owner can say, I really appreciate you coming in from the last 2 weekends, but this is really important for our team. So how about you take 2 extra days of leave when this is done? And the whole team will be there to support you, or at least the product owner will be there to support you when you come on this weekend. So at least empathy, try to understand where the feeling or the emotion is coming from. We respond. We shouldn't be reacting to those situations. So, what's your name again? Tim, yes. So you're the person who loves dog, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So Tim was asking me earlier that we have learned about all those different kind of defensive reactions. How does it help us? If we just recognize them, will it help us in any way? It will. It doesn't matter what defensive reaction it is, but it will always help us to identify the emotion that we are coming up with. We can at least manage that. We can regulate ourselves. So whenever you are in a challenging situation like this, pause for a second. Take a deep breath. Do whatever it takes to calm you down. And then act with humility. Because always remember, there will be a backstory. It is really rare that someone is really, very evil, who wants to do bad things. That is a very rare situation. It doesn't happen at all. But whenever things like this go wrong, there will be a backstory. Understand those. Think about how you can respond to that, not react. Don't create those situations, conflicts, unnecessary conflicts on your team. So, the takeaway from this is that I really understand that how difficult it is to grow your EQ. But then we can do one step at a time. If we practice enough, we all can grow our EQ. The question that I have for all of you is that, which is that one thing you're going to take from here today and going to practice at work tomorrow, knowing that it's Friday, maybe you'll work from home, but how about Monday? What is that one thing that you are going to take and practice at work?
I'll take a big breath.
And a lot of alcohol on that. So that was it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much, Simon. How'd you do?
Brilliant.
Brilliant. There you go. See, nothing to worry about. Now there are QR codes on the outside if you'd like to give some constructive feedback.